So before we start our yoga session and meet Alyona, I want to talk to you for a couple of minutes about the importance of self-care, which I feel is super important right now. And this week I saw an article about people working more than 10 extra hours per week from home during lockdown. And I know that also a lot of us have had extra responsibilities than we usually would have had during this whole lockdown period. So we've maybe saved on commuting, but we've had other responsibilities. So example, those of you who are homeschooling, I mean, that's huge. And especially if you have young children, and it can't be easy. But even, you know, others, you know, cooking more meals for our families, more cleaning, all those kind of things. And so it can get really exhausting. So I feel that's why it's even more important to find time to look after yourself. And many years ago, when I started the Wellbeing Escapes business, it was kind of deemed a little bit frivolous to look after yourself or say that you were looking after yourself. I think there's just something in our British psyche around that historically. And I really find that time to dedicate to yourself, that time and effort to dedicate to yourself. But now we know that our health depends on really prioritizing our mental, emotional and physical well-being. So I think it's really important that we do that. And I know old habits can die hard, but I would really recommend that you can find a minimum of 30 minutes each day to do something for yourself, where you really nurture yourself. It's like super important to find that time and really prioritize yourself, because if you can't look after yourself, how can you look after anyone else if you're not, you know, feeling right yourself? So my personal kind of go-to self-care every day is yoga and meditation and my daily walk. And I find time for that no matter what. I would just prioritize that. It's taken me many years to get to that point, but I really feel it's very important for me. And for me, yoga is kind of the epitome of self-care, as it allows me to move my body, but also connect with my breath and find some of that peace within. And I don't know about many of you, but I'm naturally inflexible and my joints are really not that flexible. I'm not a natural yogi. So for me, it's even more important that I do yoga. That's what I believe, so that I can, you know, help keep my joints more supple. And it's become for me like brushing my teeth. So, you know, I was really excited when I saw on the server that many of you loved the yoga sessions last year. And I'm very excited that we have Alyona here today to give us a beautiful class. So let's find Alyona. Alyona, hi, are you there?
Hello, Stella.
Hi. I am going to make you co-host now so people can see you properly. Yeah. Hi, where are you, Alyona? I want you to tell everybody where you are because it looks amazing.
So hello, everyone. First, I just want to thank Stella so much for inviting me to share on your platform. It's such a treat to be with different people. And I, of course, want to answer your question. Right now, I'm in Mexico, in Tulum. It's one of my favorite places in the world. I've lived here multiple times, and I'm so happy to be here with my partner now, which is how I know Stella, how I've met Stella. So I want to bring him in and thank him. His name is Lazo. And yeah, I'm in the middle of the jungle. I am very grateful for the internet. That's been very cooperative with us. So it's a little more challenging with those things in these areas because they're not as abundant. So I just want to give gratitude to the internet for working well so we can all connect.
Yeah. I think, I think we can see you clearly. There's a couple of comments in here. Just put it on speaker view and then you'll be able to see Alyona clearly when she speaks. So Alyona, yeah, I mean, we're in like, for those of us who follow astrology, we're in the middle of Mercury retrograde, right? So I feel quite thankful that this is working and then we can see you, especially since you're in the jungle. I know you wanted to just talk a little bit about Mercury retrograde. We've had an astrologer on our sessions in the past, so it's an interesting
amazing. So
yeah.
I'm sure I won't say, something more useful than he did, but I have been studying astrology, alongside yoga for a decade. I definitely don't know nearly as much about astrology as I've managed to learn about yoga, because it's a deeper practice for me. But something to share that's really beautiful is that Mercury retrograde tends to get a really bad rep. Like, people think like, oh, Mercury retrograde, and then everybody's bummed. It's Mercury retrograde. Things are going to move slow. They're not going to work out. But as Stella was talking about self-care and the importance of self-care, Mercury retrograde can be such a beautiful time to connect with the natural energy of the cosmos, which they're slowing down. So it's allowing us also the opportunity to slow down and be more connected to self-care, be more connected to our practices that maybe we've always wanted to establish. This is a really good time to get into things that feel good, that give you more space for yourself. It's just simply not a good time to sign a contract. And, that's it. It's
That's
a time
it. Okay. So it's
self-care.
time to practice yoga. It's a good time to practice yoga. So that's good. So we'll be doing that today. And so you're usually based out of New York, right? And you've studied in New York, and you've had your teachers in New York and all of that, and you teach in New York. But then you also travel around the world. I know you were in London and then now in Tulum. So that's why we call you an international teacher. But you've been practicing for quite a long time, haven't you, and teaching?
I've been practicing for probably, it's been about 17 years now here, and teaching for around 15. So I've had such a, I love teaching everyone. Everyone that wants to learn is a perfect student. It's really such a treat to share this practice, because it's given so much to me, and I've seen it give so much to every person that's ever really, really bowed to it and wanted to receive something. And it can be so simple, even 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day of an attitude of yoga can really shift your life in a big way. And that's part of my mission and my goal here with you guys, is to share that it can be really simple. You don't have to, it's not about a fancy pose. Actually, sometimes the people doing very fancy poses move further away from the essence of yoga because of the ego. So sometimes simplicity is best. So I really look forward to making things simple together today and connecting in that way.
Wonderful. We're really looking forward to it. Just one more question before we move into the class. Now, you like to talk about yoga and how it connects you to the elements and to nature. Just expand on that a little bit for us, because I think that's a beautiful extension of yoga. But just, if you can tell us what you mean by that, that would be interesting.
Sure. So, at its root, yoga is shamanic, because we're connecting to the air, of course, that's inside of us. We're moving our fire. We're moving our water, our blood, and we're connecting to our body, which is the earth. So that's in the most simple form. But the more we can connect, yoga means union. And shamanism is also about connection. So, and the idea that everything is alive. So we're just thinking about everything being alive. And inside of the practice of yoga, we want to move in a way that's going to be really beneficial for us, and really learn to listen more to what's inside and how we need to move inside. I may say one thing, but that may not feel good for you, and you may need to do something else. So that's okay. That's encouraged. We want you to do that. There's a certain point where that changes, but in the beginning, when you're getting used to things, you really need to, always you need to listen, and always things are changing. the deeper you go into the practice. And that's part of it being shamanic, is that things are changing and shifting, and you're always changing and shifting. And just listening to that and being connected to that makes you really connected to the essence of it all, and helps things flow in a good way. Is that a good answer?
Yeah, that's an excellent answer. Thank you. And, you know, we touched on shamanism a little bit. That's a subject for another day, and maybe we get Lazo on to talk about that, because shamanism is one of my personal interests, and, you know, that whole thing about connecting to the elements and nature. So let's stop talking. Let's start our class. And I'm going to move you onto my mat, and let's enjoy.
Okay, great. So I'm going to plug myself in now so you'll hear me a little bit more clearly, but I won't hear you. So if anything, Stella will give me a wave. I'll give you a moment to get on your mat and just make myself, trying to click myself to see what I'm doing here, but it's not clicking. I don't know, Stella, maybe Stella can do something to make me see myself, but maybe not. Okay, well, it's not clicking.
No,
Things are
it's
changing.
okay. Just
Gotta roll with the times.
You don't need to see yourself. You know what you're doing.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All good? Seeing is good? So welcome everyone. At this time, I'm going to invite you to take something that you can sit on, that you feel really comfortable with. It can be a couple of pillows, it can be a chair. It can be, you know, if you do have yoga props, it can be 2 blankets, and they're folded from this way here. Some moment we can do a whole, there can be a whole class on props and folding and such, but we just begin with having something that's about this height, or it can be higher, you know, needs to be comfortable for you to take a seat on. And the main idea when we sit is that the hips can be naturally higher than the knees, because this gives us the ability to relax the hips and relax the torso. So it's more beneficial to sit higher and have your knees lower, no matter how high it is. If you sit on a chair, it's much better than sitting and being like this, because then the belly is stressed and the back is stressed, and that's the last thing we want. So if you're on a chair, that's great. If you've got your pillows or your blankets, that's great too. And I'm going to ask you to open up the legs and then grab on with your hands to the insides of the knees and cross at the center of the shins. Okay, and then you'll be crossed right at the very center of your shins. Taking the right hand to the right, you'll take your left hand and grab onto the flesh, literally, and pull it a little bit back. And then notice that the left side is actually very different than the right side. Don't be afraid to do this well. And then take your left hand and grab on to the right flesh with your right hand and pull it a little bit back. And so you've moved the flesh, and we're doing this to spread the seat so that you can have more connection with the earth. Okay, and then just notice how that feels. I see one person staring into the camera. I'm hoping that all makes sense to them. I don't know who it is, but I hope it's okay. Stella, you'll let me know if not. And then let the knees descend and let the thighs descend. Let the hips relax. Let the hands come onto the knees, and just close your eyes for a moment and bring your awareness to the way that your spine is in space, allowing your spine to be on top of the pelvis and the center of the head to lift up towards the center of the sky. And then relax the shoulders, let them descend down the back, let the elbows descend, let the tongue descend, let the eyes soften. And then open your eyes for a moment and
take your hands and grab onto whatever prop you have. It can be your chair, it can be your blanket, it can be your pillow, and just pull them to the sides with your thumbs pulling out. And this action is going to help you just place your shoulder blades on the back. And we do so much of this that this is such a nice action for all of us to take. So pull the hands apart, let the shoulder blades drop on the back, and you can feel the shoulder blades hugging your back. This should feel a little bit strong. That's okay, let it feel strong. And then release your hands to the thighs. Try to keep the shoulder blades on the back as they were. Let the chin descend towards the chest. And again, close the eyes. Feel that the chest is a little bit broader, a little bit more open. And now let's bring our awareness to the breath. So in the practice of asana, which actually means comfortable seat, but in the West, we practice asanas, which are postures. So we use the ujjayi breath, and it's the victorious breath via the nose and the throat. The lips are softly sealed. So we'll talk about this breath, we'll breathe together, and then we'll move on to some posture practice so that we can have this breath as the base. So inhale through your nose and exhale out of the mouth. Make the sound HA. Don't be afraid to open your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Make the sound HA. Do this a few more times, and I really want you to listen to the HA sound. And then go ahead and seal your lips. Inhale through the nose. And with your sealed lips, make the HA sound. And so now you'll begin to hear that the breath is moving through your throat a little bit. Continue in this practice. So you're inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose, making the sound HA with your lips sealed. And now we're going to try to make the same sound while you inhale through your nose. So it's as though there's a straw in your throat and you're breathing through the throat and through the nose. And same thing as you exhale, it's an HA with your lips sealed. So this is the beginning of the ujjayi breath. I'll explain it one more time. If you've got it, just keep going for it. Lengthening your inhale, lengthening your exhale. So breathing in through the nose, it's as though you're sucking in through a straw, through the throat. So there's a gentle constriction in the throat. It shouldn't be too much or too strong, but just a gentle constriction in the throat, okay? And when you exhale, exhaling, lips sealed, HA, sound inside, okay? So now we're going to add a count to the breath so that it gets a little bit deeper for us all. So you don't need to see me now. You can close your eyes. You have all the information inside. Wherever you are with the breath, exhale completely. And then inhale 3, 2, 1. Exhale 3, 2, 1. Inhale 3, 2, 1. And exhale 3, 2, 1. In 3, 2, 1. Out 3, 2, 1. In 3, 2, 1. Out. 3, 2, 1. Continuing like this now, for about a minute or two, I'm going to play some sound for you. And just want you to focus on the depth of the breath. If you're uncomfortable in your seat, you can switch the cross of your legs for these next 2 minutes. And you can always sit up on a chair. You can even lie down to practice this breath if you need to move. If you can stay, please do stay. You can always also take the count up and make it 4 and 4, or take it down and make it 2 and 2. We're going to make a sound together to start. And I want us all to feel that we are connected to each other through our mind, our heart, our body, our spirit, this practice. So connect to one another, everybody here in the space, on the Zoom. Let's all have the mind and the heart power to come together as one through sound. The sound is Om, A-U-M. And it's a very ancient sound that means all that exists. Take a deep breath in. So I don't know if you can hear in the background, there's a cicada. And as soon as we started chanting, the cicada started chanting with us. And so that is the essence of Om, the essence of everything being connected. So go ahead and Remove yourself from the props. And we're going to lie down on your mat. So hatha or hatha means sun and moon. So we go into the moon, since many of us are there men here? Probably some men, lots of women. So the feminine takes care of the moon, the masculine takes care of the sun. We have both inside and we do both, but we start with the feminine. So we lie down on the mat. The feminine is about receptivity and relaxation. So just lie down and take a shavasana. This is actually the most challenging posture of shavasana. Why? Well, it's difficult to stay still. I want you to find the center line between your head and the pelvis, and the center line between both of your legs and both of your arms, so that if you were to fold yourself on a piece of paper, it would be clean. It would be a very clean fold if you were to fold yourself down the center. Continue breath we began with, this ujjayi, equal part breathing. We're just going to take 4 breaths here, thinking about and feeling yourself releasing into the center of the earth. If you notice that your lower back has started to bother you already, this can be common if we're not used to moving very much or at certain times during the cycle. You can bend your knees and put the feet on the floor. And this will be the next action for us anyway. So when you've done your breaths, bend both of your knees and put your feet on the floor, okay? So take your feet as wide as your mat and let the knees come in. This is called constructive rest, and an excellent place for your lower back. If your lower back
Oh, we've lost her. I think she'll join back in a sec. Apologies, we've lost her. It was too good to be true. But she hopefully will come back in. Bear with us. Just stay into Shavasana and just keep breathing, please, with your heels into the floor, and just keep breathing there.
Sorry about that. I hope you're all still in constructive rest. So apologies for any disconnection. Just stay in the last posture. If that happens again, hopefully it doesn't. So you're on your back and the knees are towards each other and the feet are apart. Great place again to come to anytime there's a situation with your back, so that you can leave this class with a tool. This is a very easy tool and it's all yours. So take a couple of deep breaths into the lower back and you may start to feel some sensations there. And that's okay, that's good. Sensations are good. And then go ahead now and place your right foot down underneath your right knee and pull the left knee in towards your chest. Clasp around the knee with your hands, right thumb on top of the left, and pull the left knee in towards your chest. Flex your left foot. Okay, we're going to take 4 breaths here. If this is really easy for you, you can put your right leg down and extend it, pressing through your right leg. And if you want to work, you can lift your right leg and place your right leg down, and this will work your abdominals and also work your fire. However, if you just want to breathe into the lower back and make space there, I would stay with the leg bent or the leg straight. 2 more breaths together. Good. And now go ahead and just place your left knee down, and we're going to change. Pull your right knee in towards the chest. Interlace the fingers the opposite way over your leg. Pull the knee in towards your chest, and make the same placement with your left leg that you did with your right leg. So either the knee is bent, it's straight, or you're working this kind of movement for the core and fire. Totally up to you which one you choose, but let it be the same. Two more breaths. And release your right leg, both feet on the floor. Pull your left leg in now. And I want you to see if you can grab onto the foot with your right hand. This may not be possible for all of you. And if it's not, you can also just grab somewhere on your shin. So you're grabbing onto your shin and you're pulling your shin in towards your chest. So it's a little bit of like a movement for the hips. Okay, so you might need to see where I am in order to make it happen. Or you're grabbing onto the foot and pulling the foot even towards your right armpit. So here, here, or here. And then if you've got this or something like this, you can extend your right leg down. And if you've got this, you can also put your left arm around the leg, your right arm around the foot, and clasp onto your hands. It depends where you are. And your right leg would extend long and press through the foot, and the abdominals would be engaged as well. Many options. Two more breaths. Trying to pull the left knee towards the left armpit, opening up the hip, and feeling into your lower back side as well. And then let's go ahead and extend our left leg up towards the ceiling. So your hands can be anywhere on the leg that feel reasonable for you. And go ahead and bend your knee a little bit on the inhalation, and left leg straightens on your exhalation. Bend on the inhale and straighten on your exhale. Twice more like this. Really bend as you bend and really straighten as you straighten. Okay, so to fully straighten the leg, you have to watch your left knee. So bend it a little bit, micro bend it, and then lift your left knee towards your left hip, and you'll see that the knee has pulled up on the leg. This is fully straight. You can feel your quad engage and the back of your leg stretching more, and press up into the ceiling through your heel. And then go ahead with your leg straight. If you can, release it to the ground. If it's too much for you, if that bothers you, just bend your knee. Change. Bend your right knee, pull the knee in towards your chest. Right knee goes towards your right armpit, and you're either grabbing onto your right foot with your left hand, or you can grab onto the shin with your left hand. The idea is that you're pulling the knee towards your armpit and potentially pulling the foot towards your chest. Remember, your left knee can be bent if this is too much for you. And if anyone took the more advanced variation with the foot inside the elbow, clasping onto the hands, knee inside the elbow, that's also an option. So many places where you could be, all equally beneficial. One is not better than the other or more advanced. A few more breaths. Then go ahead and clasp the hands somewhere underneath your leg, or grab somewhere on the leg, wherever you did last time, and straighten your leg, press through the heel, and then bend the knee. Try to take your heel towards the buttock. So you're actually squeezing the muscles. Okay, that's the inhale. The exhale is the extension. Extend through your heel, extend through your leg. You're working your body. Bend the knee on the inhalation as much as you can, and straighten, pulling up through the heel and letting the knee go down towards your hip. If you don't quite understand this yet, it's okay. Twice more. Bending And straightening. And then go ahead and slowly put your right leg down. Again, you can bend your knee if you need, and you will feel it in your hip. It's kind of working hard. That's okay. Okay. We're going to do this again, but we're going to move through this a little bit more quickly. So bend both of your knees. Bring your left knee in towards your chest. Hug the knee in towards your chest. Take a deep breath in. And if you can, straighten your right leg when you breathe out. Breathe in, bend your right knee. Breathe out, stay here. Inhale, pull your left knee in towards your left armpit, making your variation how you did on the other side. And exhale, bring the leg a little bit closer in. Interlace your fingers behind your left leg. Extend the leg up on your exhalation. Bend the knee, breathe in. Extend, breathe out. Just one more time in. And extend as you exhale. And take the leg down on your inhalation. Both legs flat on the earth on your exhalation. Take one breath in, Shavasana, corpse place. And exhale out of the mouth, let yourself fully release. Bend your right knee, bend your left knee. Inhale, pull the right knee in towards your chest, clasp your hands around your knee, and exhale, straighten your left leg if you can. Pull the knee in towards your armpit on your inhalation, grabbing onto your left foot or shin, wherever you can, and pull the leg more in towards your chest as you exhale. Clasp the hands underneath your leg, straighten your leg on the exhalation, and bend it on the inhalation. Twice more. Don't worry too much if you flipped the inhale and the exhale. That's natural to you and actually quite nice. It's not wrong or right, okay? And place the foot down, extend your leg. Again, you're in Shavasana. Take a deep breath in and full breath out. Just one more thing on the earth here. Bend both of your knees. Pick up your pelvis up and draw it to the left. And then let the knees come over to the right. So you're taking a spine twist on your back. This is so good for everyone. Every spine needs this. Okay, and if you can, you might look over your left hand, but it's not necessary. Just 4 breaths here. The eyes be soft. And step the feet back towards the center. Put your pelvis in the center. And now pick up your pelvis and put your pelvis more on the right side. Take your legs to the left, spinal twist. Extend your arms. And if it's easy for you, you can look over your right hand. 4 deep breaths. Come back to the center. If you can, pull both of your knees in towards your chest and do a little squeeze. So we're going to rock. This is not for everybody, so I am going to show multiple options. But if you can rock, you're going to rock forward and back on your spine. You may not be able to come up. It does require some strength to do that. So you could just rock on the back a little bit if you can't quite rock up, even side to side. And, you know, if your back is bothering you or this seems too intense, you can just make some circles and just feel your spine on the floor one way and then the other. If you can rock up to your hands and step your feet back, all 4s, you'll do that. And if you can't, you're just going to roll over to the side, press yourself up, and we'll come into all 4s on the mat. I'm going to turn this way. So continuing with some really great movements for the spine, but first realizing where we are in space. So the hands are underneath your shoulders and the knees are underneath your hips. The best way to know this for sure is to use your eyes and check. They're so intelligent, those guys, the eyes, okay? So make sure, press the fingers through the floor really strongly, really well. Make sure the middle fingers are parallel to each other. And you may, if you like to, actually externally rotate your hands just a little bit, turning the right middle finger towards about 2 o'clock and the left middle finger towards about 11 o'clock. Or would that be, yeah, something like that. The opposite of 2 on the other side. Okay, inhale, open your chest. And exhale, round the spine. Press the feet into the floor, the tops of the feet, and round, round, round. You may even come up to your fingertips. You should feel this all through the back. It feels so nice. Press your hands into the floor. Inhale, tail goes up, chest goes up, throat opens. And exhale, round your spine. Really press and round. You can come up onto the fingertips. Again, open, inhale. And exhale, round. Open. And exhale, round. Okay, child's pose. Press the buttock on the heels, extend your arms forward. So I'm going to take an active variation of child's pose, trying to get the buttock on the heels. So the knees are spread wider than your hips. You're trying to press the buttock on the heels. And if your mat is quite a sticky mat, it can really help push you away. So my palms are on the earth and I'm pressing into the floor firmly and strongly to try to get my buttock down. And that's my main thought now is, okay, how can I try to push my buttock further down? Now, if it's not down all the way, it's no problem. It's actually the pushing there and the extension that's supporting you. And that's making that beautiful space in your back. Now focus on really straightening your arms. And as you straighten your arms, lengthen the sides so that the pelvis is moving towards the hips and your arms are really straight and long. And you're breathing deeply into the side of your body. So this is an active posture. The elbows are not on the floor. The palms are, and you're straightening your arms. Three to five more breaths. See if you can stick with it and keep the strength of the posture so that it's a working posture. It's a basics posture, but you are working here. You might even be sweating. A really nice place to breathe deeply into the belly, deeply into the pelvic floor, deeply into the chest. And then come back to all fours. Take the hands back towards your knees. And then press into the feet and straighten your legs and fold forward over your legs. So I'll show again in case this was kind of weird. So you're from here, you're on your knees, and then you just straighten your legs and you're folding forward over your legs. Let's actually try to do this movement together a few times without just coming to stand up. There is no standing. It's just from knees down to folding forward. Now, if you can't touch the floor with your hands, you don't need to straighten your knees all the way. Maybe you just bend them a little bit and then straighten them a little bit and work what you can. Work with the movement you have. Bending and straightening. This is really good for your hamstrings, the strength of your legs, your lower back. I mean, you name it. It's good for you. So take the movement you have. You are moving. Knees a little bit down and legs a little bit straight. Okay? And then we're going to land here with the feet on the floor. You're folding forward over your legs. The legs are straight. The feet are hips width apart or wider. They can be as wide as your mat. And the more inflexible you think you are, the more your legs should be apart, because it makes things easier. Even if you think you're very flexible, it still makes things easier to have your feet more apart. Pressing through the feet, lift the toes off the floor, engaging the feet on the earth. Lift your knees up. They need to engage and pull up towards the thighs. And this action will help to open the backs of the legs. If this isn't clear, it's okay. It takes a while to understand what I'm saying here if you've never done this in your body, and we'll keep hammering this idea in. Knees up, open the backs of your legs, take the hands to the sides, bend the elbows and move the elbows out to the sides. Again, if you don't go down this far, your hands can be on a chair here. That is a-okay. Okay. Take 4 more breaths here. Do try to straighten your legs. If you need to bend them to then straighten them again, that's perfectly fine. Okay, take your hands to the hips and come up to stand. Whew. So you should feel a little bit of goodness flowing through you in your circulation. When you've done that much forward bending and you come to stand, it should feel good. So how do we stand? Now we're going to move towards the sun and do some very basic sun salutations together. So getting the feet, let's move them together and have them touch. Look at your feet and lift all of the toes up and press down the 4 corners of the feet. There's 2 in the front and 2 in the back. Feel them firmly pressing into the earth. This awareness alone is profound. Just standing well with your feet, okay? And then go down, pinky 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st toe. And you maybe didn't get that at all. We try it again. I miss it many times. It's just for the fun of it and for awareness. Let it be fun and not about getting things right or anything like that. Just about expanding your own awareness, okay? Now let the heels come apart just a tiny bit. Let's bend your knees and then lift the knees up. The thighs engage. Bend your knees a little bit and then lift your knees up, the thighs engage. Okay, now we're gonna bend our knees quite a lot and we're gonna stay there for a moment and just let the fire burn a little bit. Okay, bend your knees. You're in Utkatasana chair pose. Go ahead and bend it. Don't be afraid. Keep your hands on your hips. It's gonna burn. Let it burn. Nothing bad is happening. Your legs are working. The more your legs work on the front, the more they release on the back. So you have tight hamstrings, you need to work your quads more. Okay, come up to stand. That was really good. If you did that the whole time, you did feel a burn. Good job. Okay, now extend your fingers and be tall as a mountain. Let your gaze go in front of you, not up, not down, but right at the center. Fingers pulling down towards the earth, shoulders releasing down your back. And now extend your arms to the sides and lift them up as you breathe in. Let the palms press together, and as you exhale, take them down the central channel of your body. To the heart, bow your head, and by the sides. Twice more like this. Feel yourself connecting to the sun. Extend your arms out, inhale. Drawing a beautiful circle around you, deep breath, and exhale, hands to the heart. Arms by the sides. Inhale. Hands to the heart. Let's continue doing this for about half a minute. It can be anywhere between 1 and 4 more rounds, depending on the length of your breath. Deep breath in, you draw a beautiful circle. You're at the center. Exhaling, hands go to the heart, seeing if you can connect your movement to the breath precisely, harmoniously for you. Let the energy of the sun pierce your being. Okay. And now we lift our arms up, and this time we fold forward over our legs, taking the arms to the sides like you're flying. I'll show from the side, but it goes out and fly down. Again, your hands can be on a chair here. If you can't touch the ground, you can now separate your feet. Inhale, extend your chest forward, exhale out of the mouth. Bend your knees, round up to stand. Another variation of sun salutation. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, hands through your heart to the hips. Bend your knees or keep them straight if you can, fold forward. Take a half lift, extend your chest forward, breathe in. Exhale out of your mouth. Bend your knees and round up to stand. Head is last. We do 2 more like this. Inhale, lift your arms. Connect energy of the sun and sky and moon, hands to your heart. Take it in, hands to your hips, bend your knees, bow down, connect to the earth. Round up, pressing your feet into the floor. Arms, inhale. Hands to the heart. Last one, hands to your hips, bow. And put your hands on the floor. Put your knees on the floor. Take your feet to the side and sit down. So we're going to move now towards a resting posture where I'll guide you a little bit through the breath and play some sound for you. And then we'll let the breath go and you'll just relax entirely. So I'm going to give you some variations dependent on your amount of props you have, your level of interest. So something very beneficial and very good for all of us is to lift our legs higher than our torso so that we can get our circulation moving, we can get our head above the heart, or rather our heart above the head, to feel more connected and less in our head. Doesn't matter your age, this is like, yes, good for you. So there's many ways to do this. I'll show you the simplest variation first. The simplest variation is that you just take your blankets or whatever you've got. You can watch all of them first, and then you can pick which one you want to do. And you just lie down with your legs higher. That's it. They're still higher. They're still lifted. Now, if you have a bed, you can put them on your bed and be here. I don't have a bed here, obviously, but they can be here. They can also be on a chair here. They can also be up the wall. So I've got this door here, just showing you how you can use many different props depending on what's around. And I just put my legs up the door. Or this could be a wall, just depending on what you have. So choose one that seems like the most reasonable place for you to be right now. Make that space really nice for yourself. You can have a blanket, you know, if it's cold in your area. You want to be really warm during this posture, so put your socks on. You know, have a blanket to cover yourself. You might even, if you work with an eye pillow, you might even have an eye pillow. And, you know, something that did come to my mind, I can't actually see you, but that came to my mind that might be important for some of you is it's very important that your head is in line with your back. So if you have a tendency to be here with a chin poking forward, you're going to need to put a blanket underneath your head next to the shoulders to support your head. And this will give you a much deeper rest. Do not ignore this. This is so important. I'm going to show it. So the blanket is next to the shoulders here underneath the head. Not all of you need this, but probably many of you can benefit from it, which would just mean that, you know, now my chin is relaxed and tucked. So if you're like this, it's fine. But if you're like this, with your chin lifted up, then it's very difficult for the nervous system to relax. So that's why when we put the blanket, the chin can release, the head can be supported, and you can allow the nervous system to let go a little bit more. And anything you have that can do that is going to be really nice. So we're going to do this samavriti breathing, equal parts, inhale and exhale. You don't have to worry so much about the ujjayi. Cover yourself with your blanket, make yourself comfortable. So inhaling on 3, exhaling on 3, giving yourself the full permission to really let go. Let go. Every exhalation, you let go a little bit deeper. Let go of the weight you're carrying in your body. Let go. We carry a lot of thoughts in our body. We carry stress in our body. We carry uncertainty, lack of confidence, so many things. Let them all go so that your body can be reset and you can be free. The best way to do this is through the breath and your awareness. So feel through your body if there's any kind of tension there. Just take a deep breath in, and on your exhalation out of the mouth, let it go. It's not yours to carry. Let these sounds soften you into the earth. Let them soften your heart. Relax your mind. All is well. All is well. Let go of everything. Let go of the breath. Let go completely. Nothing to do. Let yourself be undone. Feel yourself together in a big room, in a beautiful place, all together with everybody that's here. Allow a smile to arise for you. Even if you don't feel it, allow it to rise in you. If you feel to stay here, feel welcome to just stay for as long as you want. If you wish to end together with all of us, go ahead and make some small movements in your feet and some small movements in your hands. Bend one knee, place your foot on the earth. Bend your other knee and place your foot on the earth. And roll off to the side. And gently placing your hand on the earth. Coming up to sit, letting your head be last. And take a similar seat to what we did in the beginning. And we're going to close together. Okay. Going to again make the sound of Om together, and I like to focus this time on sending our energy, our sound into the world and what's happening for everyone now, and just for some strength and some openness to connect to the greater message of what's happening now and how we can step into what's being offered. It's something different that's being offered for us. How can we step in a good way? So to connect to that energy, we're sending the sound to connect to the energy that's being offered now, to have an alchemical process all together. Take a deep breath in. We chant Shanti. Shanti means peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Take your hands to the heart. Masculine and feminine meeting at the center of you, the center of the heart. Bow your head to your heart, acknowledging your efforts, acknowledging showing up, taking some breaths, making some movements. And then take your hands together and rub them and blow into them love and self-care and goodness, just that wish. Wash yourself with it. Put your hands on your head, your ears, your body. May that become a part of us in a good way. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a super special treat to be with you all. I can't really tell what's going on Zoom now, but I see all the participants are there. I'm offering lots of free classes or free things on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Yoga with Alyona. So you're welcome to check out some classes there. And I also have an Instagram thing, and Stella has it. And I'm offering a free video for anyone who signs up for my email list. I have something special I'm offering in March. And it's a video on standing. Maybe Stella can type in my email
Alyona,
or my website, because I'm not sure how to do that here.
Alyona, can you hear me?
So now Stella can speak. And
can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, what we'll do,
yes, I can.
Firstly, I want to thank you because it was just such a wonderful class. So beautiful. Thank you. Really felt connected, even with you being so far away. But secondly, we will put all of these things up on the forum, and also the video of this class up on the forum as well. So I will, under Alyona's event, and I'll put it in the forum as well, Alyona's YouTube channel, her website, and anything else you want to share, Alyona, okay?
Thank you.
And maybe you can do that too, because you can say hi to everybody on the forum too. You're,
I will.
You're a member too. In fact, we will create a yoga group. I think your yoga group on there. We can do that. So look out for all those details for Alyona. I'll follow up during the week with another email and point you to where all these resources are, so that you can access them. And I just have to tell you before we sign off that during that, my dog Louis, who's right here, I don't know if you can see him. Say hi, Louis, and you'll see him. Louis came and joined me at the end when you were chanting, and was staring into the screen. So you obviously had a real effect on Louis, because he hears a lot of this kind of music.
Oh.
He doesn't usually bat an eyelid, but this one he really enjoyed. So you've reached out to the non-humans too. So thank you for everything. Thank you everyone for showing up. I hope you enjoyed that. And oh yeah, and Alyona's got her email in that. Sign up to her new newsletter, and we'll also paste that. We'll put that onto the forum too. And see you all next week. Next week we've got a healthy cookery session, which will be fun, because Candice will actually be cooking live with us. And I'm sure we can, well, we'll ask Alyona if she'll join us again another time and share her magic with us. In the meantime, enjoy beautiful Mexico.
Thank you.
Everybody else have a restful evening, and looking forward to seeing you all soon. Sending love to you all.